They lost 24-17. We did lose that play for you guys. But I was more impressed with Auburn than I honestly was with Oklahoma. I'm not extremely impressed with this Oklahoma team. Now, I believe there were a lot of plays in this game that just did not go Auburn's way. When we look at John Mateer's pass to Isaiah Satanga, that play is causing a lot of controversy because they believe that touchdown shouldn't have happened. They believe there was an ineligible receiver that they missed. And again, Auburn does lose by 7. Again, I was not impressed with this Oklahoma team at all. And I do like Auburn as, a top 25 team in the country. We saw Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman had a phenomenal game, 3 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. And the reason why I'm saying that is a phenomenal game because there were so many yards that you can't see in the statistics that he drew from pass interference calls and plays that we thought were pass interference that were not called. I love this Auburn team. I think Jackson Arnold is a solid quarterback. Now, we saw at the end of this game that Jackson Arnold, it's going to be tough for him to come back in 2-minute drills because he's not the type of quarterback that's going to be able to pick a defense apart with the passing game. We know he relies more on the run game, even though he only had negative 11 yards. But this was really because of the sacks he took late in this game. But again, this Auburn team, very similar to how I feel about Marcel Reed and Texas A&M. Their playmakers really make Jackson Arnold develop as a passer. Cam Coleman, like I said, is really going to be one of the best receivers in the country this year. And Eric Singleton, again, is a great number 2 in college football. Why I'm not impressed with Oklahoma in this matchup, like I said, they barely got out of this game. I believe they were blessed with a lot of calls. Not only that, I did not think John Mateer looked really that great at all. And Oklahoma's rushing is a thing that's really scaring me as well. When they played 2 top 25 opponents in Auburn and Michigan, they are not able to rush the football with their running backs. I believe in the Michigan game, they had 60 yards with their running backs. John Mateer was the leading rusher in that game. And again, against Auburn, John Mateer is the leading rusher as well with 29 yards, which is kind of sad. They rushed for 32 yards in the game. I do not believe in this Oklahoma run game. I believe that we had a lot of high hopes for Jaden Ott 2 years ago, and we thought that was going to be a big transfer running back add for them. He has not produced, and John Mateer with this Oklahoma offense, he stalled out for a majority of the game. And again, a touchdown that should have been taken back didn't get called. I'm not extremely impressed with him. And I think the biggest thing, John Mateer, again, Oklahoma is 4-0. His statistics are good. But when we look at the landscape of college football right now, there isn't that one true quarterback that's really going to take over a game right now. And it's just not a quarterback year in the first 4 weeks of this college football season. And I believe John Mateer, by fault, is getting a little overhyped. I said that in a previous video last week. My issues with John Mateer, again, especially as an NFL prospect, I don't really trust him, his mechanics. And not only that, I do believe he doesn't have great touch in the football. And I feel like we saw this in a lot of spurts in this game as well. I feel like he reminds me a little bit of J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, which is ironic because I did love J.J. McCarthy. But it seems like every throw was at one speed. It seems like he has no touch. Every ball is going to be like a 100-mile-per-hour throw, which, again, is my kind of fault with John Mateer. And, again, I really don't believe that Oklahoma could get out of this schedule with how they barely got out of Auburn. And then you're going to play South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. I don't believe in this Oklahoma team. I don't believe in their rushing attack. And I think John Mateer is one of the better quarterbacks in college football. But I don't think he's going to be able to put them on his back in this gauntlet. And I'm not going to lie, against Auburn, he did not impress me. I am more impressed with Auburn because they are everything that I thought they would be. They stood in this matchup with an Oklahoma team that a lot of people are high on. They really had a chance to win this game if certain play calls went the other way. I do believe pretty much every major play call in this game, every major flag or no call went to Oklahoma. And like I said, I believe in the weapons for Auburn. I believe in Jackson Arnold. I think he's a solid QB. And in a game that a lot of people expected Oklahoma to roll over Auburn and John Mateer to have a huge game, I don't think it worked out that way. And I think Oklahoma has to dig deep in their rushing attack because if they aren't able to run the football with anybody else but John Mateer, it's only going to take them so far when you play Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina. You're not going to be able to get out of that gauntlet without running the football. And like I said, Oklahoma at home really did not impress me, and John Mateer definitely didn't impress